Welcome back to It Was All a Dream with me, Daniel Ewing. Once again, I have a special guest. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have a special guest today, uh, and I have a legendary guest. We're gonna call it like it is. I have a legendary guest, longtime friend of mine, uh, national champion, man, so much more. 2006, third pick NFL draft, two-time Pro Bowler, College Football Hall of Famer. I'd like to welcome Vincent Young.
the real name, the government name.
What up, VY? What's up, baby?
My guy, what's up, D. Ewing? What's up, bro?
Hey, man. It's all good, man. Good to hear from you. Good to see you, man. Glad that all is well. Glad you can join the podcast, man. Welcome.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm sorry I'm a little behind. But, when you reached out, you already know what that is. Yes, sir. Whatever you need, bro.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We got the time. Everything that's going on, being in this pandemic, everybody has a little extra time to do something, whether we use it, productively or not. We got a little extra time to do something. So, man, like I said, I shoot my shots, try to reach out to a lot of people that I know, man, see if I can get them on here and a lot of interesting people, let them share their story and tell their testimony, man. And you was one of the first people that I thought of when I came up with the idea, the concept of the show. So, man, I appreciate you joining today.
No, I like it too, man. So, man, you know me, man. Anything I can do to speak the word and put some knowledge and information in some people that's definitely gonna be watching and listening to us speak and talk and catch up, because we are brothers. We've been knowing each other since AAU basketball, so we got a lot of history.
Right. So, man, we gonna get into that. But like I said, yeah, a lot of people probably don't even know that we go back to like seventh, eighth grade, man. I don't even know if you remember this. Like I said, we gonna get back. I don't even know if do you remember playing my school in middle school? Do y'all remember coming down in middle school? Y'all came to Missouri City and y'all scrimmages. I don't know if it was
what's the name?
It was 8th grade. Y'all came to our school and scrimmages.
What school was it again? Yeah, Pistol.
City.
I mean, huh?
Mo City Middle School.
No, I'm definitely don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I know I remember this. It was like three of y'all at that time, 8th grade, I believe. Y'all throwing it off the backboard. I had you mind you, my team, we was pretty good, but man, wasn't nobody dunking, wasn't anybody even dunking easily. But y'all throwing it off the backboard, I'm like, man, who? I was like, oh man, we in trouble. And I think that's the summer that we got connected and played AAU together and went to AAU Nationals and all that. But yeah. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was like, man, we in trouble today.
Marcus Estes and Thaddeus in Washington. Yeah, them 2 pounds. They were some beef.
What's been going on, man? With everything going on, the pandemic, man, how are you and your family? How have you and your family been?
Well, we've been good, man. It's been actually bringing us closer, man, just hanging out with the family. I try to change the scenery sometimes to go to the office, 3 to 4 times a week, because I'm still in the real estate and transportation infrastructure business. So we doing freeways and highways and selling homes and stuff like that. So, and then, I got my restaurant. So we ain't really just, been behind on business, thank God. But with me and the family now, we just been kind of chilling and following the rules, staying safe, staying at peace. My sister is at MD Anderson, so she gives us a lot of information, what to do at home, how to stay safe, all these type of things. So we just been following the rules and supporting the cause, everything that's going on, Black Lives Matter, all that type of stuff, man. That's all the ignorant shit that's going on in our world right now. So we just kind of been just behind the scene, taking care of our responsibilities and out the way, man, at peace, man. That's pretty much it, bro. Right now, my son's birthday today, so you can probably hear all that noise in the background.
That's all love, man. Happy birthday to young fella, man. How old is he today?
He turned 10. Yeah, he turned 10 today.
Okay.
Supposed to be in Costa Rica, but they shut the border down, so I'm really pissed off about that.
messing up that vacation time.
Man, that beach time, sand in the toes, baby.
Man. Yo, so man, speaking of your family, your son, is he involved in sports?
Yeah, he played basketball, played football, played golf, playing 9-hole tournaments. You know, right now I'm kind of keeping him away from everything right now to keep him safe. But when before the pandemic, he was definitely in sports. I mean, year round. I'm like his Uber driver, bro. I'm taking him everywhere. So
Yeah,
I'm actually pretty happy that he's not playing because it's giving me a break right now because
right, right, right. Super
I was
dad. I
yeah,
feel
I
you,
was
man.
Uber driver. I was driving everywhere, bro. God dog, I was driving everywhere.
So you said he does play football also. He plays football.
Plays football, basketball. He play all sports. He play all sports. Very
Any
active.
any one particular sport that he's you kind of got see like okay, yeah, he might be special in this one, or he's still trying to figure it out.
I think he's still trying to figure out, but he definitely love your game. He loves basketball. I could tell the energy. He can shoot. He can dribble. You know, when we was up there and down there by you, over there playing, he was over there balling over there at what's that, Sugarland?
Uh
Uh
huh.
the lead over there. He was over
Yeah.
there balling, he was running the point guard and everything, just doing his thing. So I can tell the difference in his basketball than football. He has a little bit more energy cause in basketball than football. But he says he want to play, but whatever. But I know what I see. He need to play
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. Um, man. So besides that, man, you and the family's good. Uh,
Yeah,
what
man.
what 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 else, man? What you think about? We got to talk about this, man. You being a former quarterback, a high draft pick, all the amazing things you accomplished, in your career. What you think about this Patrick Mahomes deal, man? Like, like you know, if you could shave if you could be born what about 10 years later, man? What you think about this money these football guys getting now?
Well, I'm proud of him because that's me and him had the same. We got the same agent, so Lee Steinberg and my boy Chris Cabot, and we got the same people. Even I'm a former player, so my agent I wish I would have had before when I was playing. I wish I would have had, but what I like about my agency that I like about those guys, they represent current players and former players. So to have access to Patrick to let him know I'm very proud of him. I mean, the Kansas City Chief, they whole organization is utmost respected, and it's just showing you that the tides are turning to the younger guys. Tom Brady's the last guy, and once he's gone, the face is who? Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So it's basically showing you that he's the new face of the NFL, and I'm happy for him. Definitely happy for him because he definitely earned it. And I mean, I give him a hard time because he went to Texas Tech though, but I'm still proud of him. He's a Dallas guy, Texas guys. If you notice, most quarterbacks in the league is from Texas. We running the show, baby. Most quarterbacks that starting or second string quarterback is from Texas. So I'm very proud to see that we still, holding the torch that we raise quarterbacks in Texas. So I'm very happy for Patrick Mahomes, and I tell him all the time I'm very proud of him and his family.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I didn't necessarily know that statistics you just threw out there about the quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks being from Texas. I didn't even really realize Patrick Mahomes was from Texas. Even
Yeah,
though he went to Texas Tech.
yeah, Dallas.
I mean, yeah, we're known for. I mean, football. This is one of the biggest football states in the country. So I mean, that's not surprising to me. Uh, but man, just on to continue on the note of Patrick Mahomes and how successful he's been in such a short period of time, the amazing things that he's doing. Just can you talk a little bit about the current state of the black quarterback, right? I mean, you coming up being a black quarterback, the stigma of, what I'm saying, of what that typically holds for, you know, especially as you get to the different levels of football. Just talk
Right.
about the current state of where you think that's at.
Well, I mean, first of all, respect to our high school coaches for one, for teaching our younger quarterbacks how to read defenses at a young age. And then when they go to college, it's even easier. And then when they get to the pros, it's even way better. See, me, it was a different for me. I was running the veer offense, run threat quarterback, and I had to kind of learn as I went. You know, as I got older, I got better and better at reading defenses and understanding different zones and different things like that. But a lot of respect to a lot of our high school coaches for teaching that stuff at a young age, and you can see the difference and how much is really helped a lot of the younger guys because of the fact of what he does. You know, and then Andy Reid is one of the best guru offensive coaches, period. And have an opportunity to play for him when I did in Philly. I learned so much from him, and then to see Patrick Mahomes doing what he's doing, you know, it's a lot of respect to him, but also a lot of respect to the guru legend, uh, Coach Andy Reid. So with a lot of the stuff that's going on, man, there's still some BS going on. I'm just happy. I mean, they starting to see it, but we'll see. They still haven't made no changes because the shit that's going on with Cam Newton is BS. How in the hell you're an MVP quarterback, Super Bowl quarterback, and you got second string other quarterbacks and third string quarterbacks and other places making more money than you. And then he goes on TV and say, this is a respect factor. This is not no respect factor. They need to stop doing us like that, period. And that shit happened to me. That shit happened to James Winston. That shit happened to Michael Vick, happened for Donald McNabb. The list goes on of the stuff that we have to deal with as a black quarterback. And we not quarterbacks, we athletic quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So the BS is BS. Like how they did Jalen Hurts. He had to go through the whole BS through the draft this year. So every year, it's always a black quarterback that they talk about and scrutinize. They don't do that as a white quarterback. They don't never do that. Do you ever hear that? Nope, nobody never hear that. It's always some kind of black young quarterback they scrutinize in the media every year. And this year was Jalen Hurts. So they did that to Lamar Jackson. I'm happy that he went there and bust everybody's ass. I wish the NFL and the media and people get away from that scenario, that what they call it, what I'm saying, statistic or that
Stereotypes.
Stereotype, and stop using that and just say, man, we actually look pretty good quarterbacks just as much as the other guy, the white guy, the Asian guy, the whatever race he is. We can do the same thing. They need to get it out their mind that we can read defenses. We are talented. We're not just athletic quarterbacks. We quarterbacks that's athletic. Change that around, you know. And I wish they can just really get away from that and stop doing that type of stuff. Cam Newton dealing with the BS. I mean, Kaepernick dealing with the BS. It's just a bunch of BS. And I'm saying that, you know, George Floyd, you know, we know him, you know, from Jack Yates, Houston, Texas. We know him as well. I hated that somebody had to die for people to really see what the hell we've been talking about, not just from yesterday, but for years, bro.
Right. Like
this battle for years, bro.
This has been a lifelong battle for black people, man. This is not nothing new for us. Just so happened now it's become more. I mean, it's happening more. It's not happening more. It's happening just as often. It's just now it's captured more. It's captured more on video.
Exactly.
And so now the world gets to see kind of, you know, what the black man or what the black woman has to go through, just on an everyday basis of just having to be cautious about, you know, where we're going, how we look, you know, how we talk. You know, it's a lot of things as a black person that you have to be cautious about doing just because of the color of your skin, and it shouldn't be that way.
And we just got to squash our pride and be quiet and don't say nothing. Now we got to start speaking up, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just really tired of that. And I wish people in general, because we made by the same guy, I wish people will understand that because of the color of your skin, if you are talented and good at what you do, that's a person you want to hire to represent your business or your own business. Let somebody in the door. Stop trying to keep us in one level. Let us live. You know what I'm saying? Because we earned it. We studied for it. Went to school for it. We did everything we were supposed to do for it. Give us the same pie as the pie that you're giving the other man or young lady that they getting before us. You know what I'm saying? And it's just time for that shit to change. And I wish everybody would stop talking about it and just do it. I like when watching the NBA right now, they got Black Lives Matter on the basketball court. They got commercials talking about Black Lives Matter. You got legendary coaches and people coming to front and be like, I hear it, I got it, I understand. But as a country, as a Congress, And the people that's making the moves upstairs, they still procrastinating and waiting on pressing the button. Shit crazy to me, man.
Right. No, man, it is, man. And to some powerful people of the other race credit, they have spoken up and spoken out, and they have shown their support, and and it's been great. And we need it, as you know, as a whole, as a country, is good for the, you know, for the Black people to see, for the Black community to see, you know, the different you know, your Tom Brady's and the Coach K's, and you know, and Greg Popovich, and you know, and these different you know, white men and women of, you know,
Right.
of America, to speak out on this matter.
Right.
But it's been a long time coming, and we still have a lot of ways to go before uh, things look better as they should. And like I said, we're just asking for equal opportunity. We're not asking for more than what you give someone else. We're just asking for you to give us the same opportunities, you know, and the same respect, and the same, you know, the same justice you would give you know, everybody else. And that's all we're asking for.
Right.
Speaking on that, man, the whole state of America, the Black Lives Matter, police brutality as it relates to sports, and you know, you brought up the NBA and how they've handled it, and you've commended them for that. How do you feel? Where do you feel the NFL is at in all this?
We behind. Shit. You know, we behind. We still haven't even started football yet. You know what I'm saying? We got people apologizing on camera, but ain't nobody pushing the button. You know what I mean? They can still be doing commercials right now, even though we're not playing right now.
Right.
We got our players, and you know, I got our white players speaking up and doing stuff. Just push the button. That's what I'm saying. Stop playing. Like the NBA is using this prime example. NASCAR, prime example. They push the button. You know what I mean? People golf, they push the button. So what are we waiting on? Push the button. You know what I mean? Stop. You know, why is Cam Newton have to even deal with this type of shit he dealing with? You know what I mean? Like, why is Kaepernick? And if it's up to me, I would tell Kaepernick, don't even play football no more. You already legendary, period. Focus on the cause and everything you're doing. You're going to do much better doing what you're doing. Stop wasting your time giving your body to people and they don't give two shits about you. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead and do what you're doing right now that everybody really respect about who you are, that you made an initiative to put your knee down and say, this shit has to stop. Go ahead and go and be the voice. Because a lot of those older people that's doing it for us, they about to pass away. They about to be gone. So now you the face. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and stick with that. Don't even give your body. I know you want to play because I want to play too, but I ain't playing. You know, I got to move on. I had to move on. I had to go do what I got to do, take care of my family, go to another business. I had to move on from the game that didn't want me, and they don't want you. So move on, bro. Your brand is big. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Just take the punches and move on. But you already being heard all over the world.
Yeah,
You
man,
know.
it's crazy that was like 4 years ago. The Kaepernick
Mm-hmm.
started protesting, like kneeling peacefully. Yeah, and the fact that here we are 4 years later dealing with the same, and some people still don't understand. Some people still think it's about the flag. Like, that's what's crazy about, like, some people still think this is about the flag.
No,
Like,
it's
man,
not.
they ain't got, you know, we not worried about no American flag, man. Like, it has nothing to do with the flag. We respect the flag. The flag is what it is. It has nothing to do with the flag.
We respect our Army, Navy, Marines. We respect all of them for fighting for us and keeping us protected for sure. Because my whole entire family is number Army base and Navy base over here. So I definitely respect that. But that's not what we saying. The message is what we saying.
Right.
we matter. Let's change it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, basically, the message is that what the flags is supposed to stand for is not the way that America is actually portrayed. You know, not the way it is for us. We don't
Right.
receive the benefits of what the flag is, as the black community doesn't receive the benefits of what the flags is supposed to stand for. It's what
Exactly.
America is supposed to stand for.
Exactly.
But man, I mean, we'll be here all day if we get it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, you know, like, that can get personal for us, man. Like, we young
Yeah.
black men, you know, living in this world, growing up in this world. We you know, it's happening right now. So I mean, this could get real personal and touchy. So, but on a lighter note, man, Vincent Young, Houston, Texas, Harm Clark. man, let us know, man, like just about your upbringing, man. Like how how did you get involved in football?
Well, I mean, my mom got me involved. I used to be one of those kids that come home from school and just go straight to the streets, running around, playing all day, and just being active. And my mom called one of my friends down the street, a friend of hers, Myra Coleman, and her son was playing football. So she was like, Dalford Coleman, he's one of the legendary quarterbacks that played wide receiver. He was like, my mom asked him, like, take my son over there to play football with you. He need to go do something because he's he's getting in trouble. He's doing all kinds of stuff, the other stuff in the streets. So he took me one day and I tried out and I made the team, and the rest was history from that, bro. I put my mind and I focused on it, and I was actually good at it. I actually played all sports. You know, I used to give you business in basketball. You remember?
Stop it. Stop it. But to your credit, though, VY did have some hoop game. VY could hoop. Vincent Young could hoop. I'm not gonna say he couldn't hoop, but he wasn't giving me the business. But Vince could hoop. Vince had a hoop game. So, man, when you say you start, like, how early are we talking? We talking about like early or like
8, 9 years old when I first started playing sports. This sports in general, about 8 or 9 years old.
Okay, so
basketball, all that type of stuff. That was the Brentwood Dolphins when I first started.
And so you start Little League. You eventually move up to middle school. So you saying you was playing all sports from like 8, 9 years old? You basketball, football. You played baseball also at a young age?
Yeah, I played for the A's.
Okay.
So I played baseball, football, and basketball. That was something to keep me out of trouble. I played a lot of that. Yeah. So and then I went to middle school to Dick Dowling with Coach Meadows and Coach Woodard. May rest in peace, Coach Woodard. He put me at different positions, and then he finally put me at quarterback. And I ran that veer offense when I got my 8th grade year. And then the rest was Houston. Then Coach Sills came in from my high school. He was recruiting me to come to Madison. He was like, man, I need you to come run the veer over here. That's where we run. And then that's pretty much when my sister and everybody in my family went to Madison. So I kind of just followed the footsteps and then started playing ball. And then the rest was history, bro. And then, you know me, and I play AAU basketball. You saw me around playing ball against you guys, playing with you guys, all of the above. I love basketball still to this day. I still play it for a little workout, stuff like that. But I really focusing on football because I like that position, playing quarterback, throwing the ball and throwing touchdowns. I was enjoying a lot of that.
So when did you I mean, because you play, I didn't know this, man. I I'm just doing some research and looking up some stuff. I didn't know that you played baseball and ran track in high school also. Of course, I know you played basketball, played against you. And like I said, we played AAU together. But I didn't know you played baseball and ran track also. So when did you really focus in on, like, all right, football? When did you realize you were special at football?
I think it was more so my junior year. That's when I really understood when I got my first letter from Florida State. And I always wanted to go to Florida State because I was a big Charlie Ward and Ward Dunn fan and Deion Sanders. So I always wanted to go to Florida State because I love that. Oh, I used to love that shit.
That chop.
I used to love that shit. And then, excuse me to all the people that's probably watching. I know that's a tough topic right now because a lot of people got to change that right now. But I used to love hearing Florida State do that back in the day. And I used to love Bobby Bowden. I got a story that, when I first met him in person, we was at a Make-A-Wish event in Miami. And I told him the reason why I didn't come to Florida State because one of his guys was kind of recruiting me as a receiver. He was pissed. He was like, what? I was like, man, I wish I had the letter, coach. I can show you. It was in writing. And I wanted to come. I was coming to Florida State. And my first letter in writing was, Vince, we're very impressed with you. We like you. We want you to come to Florida State. and then down at the bottom, but we want you to play wide receiver. Ah, that hurt me. That hurt it, bro. That hurt
Yeah,
it.
okay. So, okay, I'm glad you brought that up, bro. I'm really glad you brought that up. So let's talk about Vince Young, the high school athlete, a phenomenon on the football field, a letterman at all the other sports that we mentioned, basketball, uh, track and baseball. I mean, like I said, I know for sure you was getting buckets in basketball, but I mean, you was parade All-American in football. You was just about everything you could accomplish in high school. You did it in high school on a football level. Uh, Talk a little bit about your recruiting process. So you just like Florida State was I guess your dream school. Talk a little bit about that, man, and more so like the schools that showed interest but wanted to change Vince Young into a different position.
Yeah, again, what we were talking about earlier, and the shit that they do to black quarterbacks, they always try to switch you to DB, free safety, or wide receiver. So that's all. A lot of times that's what I hear. And I wanted to go to LSU to play with Coach Saban when he was there, and I went down there to his football camp and did really good. I was playing quarterback, and then I was messing around at receiver and doing good at receiver too. But I said, Coach, I want to play quarterback. And they kept trying to recruit me as a receiver. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to LSU. But the recruiting process was crazy, man, because I had people coming from all over the place. And my top schools were Miami, Florida State, Arkansas, Notre Dame, and Southern Miss. It wasn't even Texas. Texas wasn't even recruiting me. Texas didn't recruit me till my senior year. They had no interest in me.
Wow.
Yeah, just like U of H. U of H wasn't even recruiting me, and I wanted to stay home and go to U of H, but they wasn't recruiting me neither. Until I told Coach, he was like, "What?" I'm like, he was like, "What?"
Hold on, Vic. Hold on. Like I said, it wasn't like you wasn't this like overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like you just didn't get good your senior year. So you mean to tell me Texas nor U of H? I get U of H kind of.
A&M and Texas Tech was recruiting me heavily.
Maybe U of H thought they didn't have a shot because of the type of player you were. But
that's what Coach said. Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
But Texas not recruiting you.
I wanted to go to U of H. I wanted to stay at home.
Really?
I even told all the guys my senior year that was playing at different schools. I said, let's all just go to U of H and put U of H on the map. Let's just stay at home. They all said the same thing. U of H not really recruiting me.
Wow.
They said the same thing. That's why everybody went off to different places because U of H wasn't recruiting us. Because they felt like what you just said. They didn't think they have a chance.
Ain't that something, man? And I had this conversation with Lanny Smith about the possibilities of what could have been had a lot of the top Houston guys for basketball stayed at home and went to U of H, right? Like it would have been dope. I mean, it would have been amazing. Like it would have definitely changed the course of U of H sports. I mean, they're on track now. They're back on track now, but they wouldn't have had that drought that they had for all those years. Had half the Houston guys stayed at home, and in your case, at both basketball and football.
Yep, exactly.
The talent that comes out this city every year that's crazy. That you said that's crazy, man. That is unbelievable. Like that's really unbelievable that these schools didn't even attempt.
Yeah, I tell that story a lot, man. I tell people, I'm like, man, we wanted to stay at home. We wanted to put our own city on the map. You know what I mean? Because just like you said, we could have changed the game, if we all would have stayed home. And just to see a lot of those younger guys that's playing for U of H right now in basketball and football, they right here at home. They right here from home. And to see that, I'm very happy about that too. You know what I mean? Because you ain't got to go out of state. You still here with your family. I know it's still tough that you get distracted by a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's nothing like playing at home. That's why I left UT early, because I had an opportunity to play and get drafted from the Texans, and they passed me up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play at home so bad.
Right.
So, and that was the only reason I left. I could have stayed another year if I knew they were going to pass me up. You know what I'm saying? But, that hurted me. But in the same time, it still kind of made me stronger, and it made me a best player. And I also played for, Bud Adams. That's a Houstonian, and may he rest in peace too. He watched me since I was a kid. And when he drafted me, he said that. He's like, man, I've been watching you since a kid. I drafted you, and I also wanted to piss off the Texans too that they didn't pick you.
Yeah, Man, like I said, just knowing you from middle school, man, and seeing that you had a chance to go to the Texans and them actually needing that position, at the time, and I just thought from a business standpoint, I thought it was the better move, even like to take like, all right, here's this kid coming off a national championship, a Heisman candidate, the Rose Bowl MVP, all the stuff that you had accomplished in college, and you're from the city, you're from Texas, and they got a chance to business. Like the season tickets would have sold out. They
Right.
like on draft night. You feel me? Like draft night season tickets would have sold out, man. Like just from a business standpoint, I thought they was gonna make that decision.
But yeah, he said he didn't like my agent, so may he rest in peace, Mr. Bob McNair. McNair, yeah, no,
right,
yeah. So he said he didn't like my agent. I'm like, man, I wish you would have told me that. I would have fired his ass on the spot and got an agent that you want to deal with.
Right. You was trying to get to the crib.
Man, I'm trying to stay at home and follow every rules and regulation that you have for me to be at home, to play ball at home, and win a Super Bowl at home. And it didn't happen, but everything happened for a reason. And so, I'm not holding no regrets. I'm not faulting nobody, not mad about nothing. Everything happened for a reason. I still had opportunity to play at home twice a year, play in Tennessee, so, everything is beautiful, man. I'm not complaining, but it also made me tougher and stronger as well, because it's business, like you said earlier. It's a business, man. It's a business.
Right. So let's just rewind just for a little bit. So, all right. So you said your major school, your top schools that you wanted to go to didn't involve Texas.
No, not at all.
How did you eventually end up picking the University of Texas?
Well, Coach Brown came to my crib, to Mom's house, and sat on the floor with me and hung out with me and chopped it up with me. And he said, "Hey, Vince, I want you to come play quarterback at the University of Texas." And that made me so excited because a lot of the schools was kind of trying to tell me I need to change my position. So for him to do that, Caucasian coach, for my first time playing for a Caucasian white coach, for him to come to my house with Coach Davis, Coach Drake, may he rest in peace as well, Coach Tim Brewster, for them to come to my crib and to respect my family and tell the truth, because everything they said, it actually happened when I walked on campus. It wasn't how sometimes they'll tell you anything you want to hear, and then you get there, it's a bunch of BS. But everything he told me and what he said when he recruited me came true. And I appreciate that. So you know how that is, how that makes us feel as a young black male leaving home to go somewhere that we have no idea what we're about to get ourselves into, when somebody really protected us from away from home. That was to me, I'm a family guy, so to me, that meant a lot to me. And for them to hold their word and say what they said and did what they say, meant what they say, that was cool to me.
So I want you to talk about a little bit about this. You having a red shirt, your first year. Now, was that a decision that kind of you made, or was that kind of like a committee, city like, look, Vince, we think is this the best, the best route to go for you considering the roster, whatever the case may be? Or was it something that you was kind of against? Like, look, man, I'm ready to go right now, but like circumstances said, nah, we need you to red shirt.
Yeah, that shit was a struggle, bro. When you playing all your life, that was a struggle. But again, like I said, Coach Brown kept it 100. He was like, man, I want you to red shirt your first year. Excuse me. I want you to redshirt your first year. I want you to sit back and kind of learn how to travel and follow the quarterbacks, to be around them, and understanding how much it takes to be at Texas. It's kind of like an NFL team, how to be a quarterback for one of the largest universities on the country. So I did what he said. I mean, Coach Fields did the same thing to me when I was in high school. My freshman year, he wanted you to play your freshman and experience your freshman year with your teammates. And the same thing happened to me when I got to Texas. So I had already been through the situation with Coach Seals. So when I got to Texas, I knew how to handle it, when I got to Texas. So when he told me that, he told me the truth. He said, I basically want you to fall back and kind of just listen and learn and be the scout team quarterback and do what you got to do, go to class. I want you to travel with us, go on the road with us and everything like that. So he told me the truth. It was tough, because some of my guys I came in with, like Selvin Young, Rod Wright, You know, a lot of those guys was playing as true freshmen, but they was a different position though. So I was like, damn, I want to play. It was hard because, you know, playing the game that I always played, I always started, I always played, I always was doing something. But to take a seat back, it made me mentally tough to be like, okay, let me sit back and kind of learn and pay attention mentally about what's really going on around me. And, you know, I commend Coach Seals for one, and then I commend Coach Brown for just being honest. Like, I really want you to experience your freshman year.
Looking back on that now, and maybe even while you was in it, I mean, like you said, you kind of already had experienced that in high school, having, you know, coach just telling you, hey, look, I know you're good enough and talented enough and big enough to possibly play on varsity, but I want you to play, you know, play with your guys your freshman year, and then, you know, you'll have 3 years to do the varsity thing, and then you get to college and experience something very similar. How, looking back on that now, how did that prepare you, man, going forward? Like how much more prepared were you yourself, you know what I'm saying, your next few years?
Yeah, so when I got to the pros, I was actually the second string quarterback. So I was already used to it. You know what I mean? It made me mentally tough to mentally prepare, meant to be ready. That if they did say, hey, Vince, I want you to kind of sit back and listen, follow the veteran quarterback, see how they do things and stuff like that. So it actually prepared me for the situation because as quarterback, you know, it's not easy playing that position because you're doing a lot. Not only if you playing the game of football, but you the face of the organization. So they dragging you everywhere. You going to sponsorship meetings. You trying to get sponsorship. You all over the place.
Right.
And a lot of the times I was just paying attention to Kerry Collins, you know, a legendary quarterback. So he taught me a lot, you know, and I picked his ear because of the situation that Coach Seals and Coach Brown, they prepared me for that when I got to the NFL. And then when Coach Fisher gave me the key to the Hummer, like he told me one day, one day he was like, Vince, I'm giving you the keys to the Hummer. When he told me that, I'm like, damn, Coach, you bought me a Hummer?
You thought he was being literal.
I'm like, appreciate that, bro. Nah. He's like, nah, I ain't got no car. I'm talking about to the offense. You about to be the starter. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, okay, let me get my shit together and get ready. And my first game was against the Cowboys. Man, we lost, but I actually played a good game. But you know, we lost that game. But at the same time, again, it definitely made me mentally tough and prepared because of the situation I experienced before.
All right, so having a red shirt, then getting to play your sophomore year, which you was a red shirt sophomore. You had a good season. You go into your junior year where you guys are predicted to be really good, right? This is the national championship season. Can you talk a little bit about that season, man, and just kind of, if you can, in words, just explain how all that played out, man, and how you felt in those closing moments and then the aftermath of everything?
I mean, I gotta give respect to Chance Mock. You know, a lot of people were like, me and him had, everybody was trying to make it look like we had some kind of controversy, but it wasn't. He was more supportive for me when Coach gave me the starting position. And, you know, that's tough. You know what I mean? When somebody comes in and take your position, you got the media saying this and that. I mean, that was a tough, awkward position for Chance Mock, but he actually was more supportive than anything. So I tell a lot of people I appreciate Chance for doing that because we could have been bumped heads. We could have went to war. We could have did all the negativity, but we didn't. It was more supportive. So, you know, from that beginning when they gave me the keys to the Hummer at Texas, um, I was that leader. You know, again, it started from because Coach redshirted me. So I had guys like Corey Redding, Chris Sims, you know, Nate Vasher. I had a lot of really good leaders around me. And while I was in the cut being a freshman and redshirting, I was paying attention to the leaders of the team. You know what I mean? So I was taking bits and pieces from them, similar traits that I feel like that's me, and put it in my everyday life. And then when the ball came to my hand, I used a lot of my talent to show that I'm an outstanding athlete, but also was a guy that cared about my guys around me. And they seen that and they felt that with me. So when the when Coach gave me the opportunity to lead that team, it wasn't more so about me. It was about making sure I got the best um, ability out of my teammates. You know, bro, okay, you dropped that ball. That don't mean shit, bro. I'm about to throw that shit again to you. Get ready. You know, trying to keep their confidence up because I had confidence in myself. I wanted to make sure the guys around me keep the confidence in themselves because a lot of people didn't push them like that. But where I'm coming from the block, from the hood, I had people always consistently in my brain like, Vince, you can do it, you can do it, or you can't. I had both situations. So I wanted to make sure when coach gave me the ball, it wasn't just about me, it's about getting each and last one of those 22 guys that's starting, that's on that field consistently, plus probably 25 that was playing to make sure that we all together on this. So I had to figure that shit out. And that took me my true freshman year to understand the guys that I was playing with. So when we got opportunity to play the game and coach gave me the key, I was like, let's get it, bro. We didn't play on a freshman team together. We was going against these studs as freshmen, Dave Vasher, Big Tubbs, Casey Hampton. We going against these clubs, and we over there beating them so bad they had to do up downs. So I know we can do it. We doing it at practice. I know we can do it against the opponents, baby. So that's the guys that I went to war with on my true freshman team that wasn't playing, and we went to war every day against our starting defense. So I know we can do it against them. That's transferred from the practice field to the game field, and then we did, and we went all the way to the national championship, bro. But it wasn't just the talent part of it. Like we really cared about each other. We had really like good chemistry. Till this day, right now, we all hang out, barbecue together, kids running around, wives running around. To this day, we got a really good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because of that history that we had.
Right, right. And that's, I mean, and we both know, man, that's what really makes that's what makes great teams, right? Is the chemistry and the bond that you guys that you share with your teammates through the ups and downs, the wins and losses. That's what really, that's what really forms it. That's when the bonds are really, is really formed. Is is in the practices and the times, times off the field. You're developing this chemistry and you're getting to know guys for really who they are. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't pour more into yourself into the situation because you actually know the person. So now you care more just than, all right, that's my teammate. Now it's deep. It gets deeper than that when you really form, these close knit bonds with guys that you play with. But man, talk a little bit about just how big this game before the game. Like it's the national championship, but we're talking about USC at that time. They're saying USC was possibly one of the best teams ever in college football.
They were.
And rightfully so. Those guys were they had a squad. They had a hell of a squad. So just talk a little bit about that, about all the hype and just the doubt that was put on you guys of having a chance to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, we went through a lot, man. Again, I mean, it wasn't about nobody else. You know what I mean? It wasn't about USC. It was all about us. And we're not taking no credit from them, discrediting anything about them. They was some beasts, period. Him, Pete Carroll, the whole USC, California, man, they represent for real. And they had a team. They had the stars. But it wasn't about them. It was about us. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to earn and let people know about Texas football. We was doubted, period. Coach Brown was doubted. He couldn't win a BCS or go to a BCS. He can't win the big game. That's what he was hearing. And so as a player, you kind of take in or you take pride in like, yes, this is Texas football. So the stuff he was going through, we had to go through it with him and let the whole world know that, that's showed him about Texas football. You know what I'm saying? So we took an initiative to say, hey, coach, we got your back. You know what I mean? So we took an initiative like to take that off his chest, take that off of him. So that was his first BCS game he ever won, or just Texas in general in history. We won that first BCS game against Michigan. And then, you know, me, bold ass, I went in front of the whole American, in front of the whole world, United States, and say, we'll be back next year for the real show.
Right.
Everybody, like, boy, you crazy, bro. Why would you say that? Even Coach Brown, like, boy, what you talking about? Boy, be quiet, man. But I just had the feeling because I just had that much pride in myself. And then I know I can push my teammates to get there. And then, you know, that off season, guys got a little slackish. They came in the meeting room, they pants sagging, earrings on, leaning back in the chair, you know, stuff that Coach Brown didn't, you know, when you go to Coach Brown meeting, you got to sit up straight. You can wear earrings, but when you go to team meeting, you take the earrings off. He wants your pants over your butt. He wants you to be dressed properly. He wants you to be like, you know, like you're going to a real meeting.
Right, presentable.
And guys came in there kind of, presentable. They came in there kind of like smelling themselves who just won a Rose Bowl. And I had to say, Coach Brown, I don't mean to interrupt. Can I say something? I had to point that shit out. I say, y'all in here smelling yourself. Y'all think we finished because we just won? Well, no, we finna go back to the show, the shit, the big one. And you guys in here got your earrings on. You guys are here sagging. Y'all doing all this and disrespecting our coach. And he told y'all not to do that when you come in these doors. He wants your undivided attention. But you guys in here feeling yourself. You got hats on, turn back. You wear a hat, you got to be like this, like proper in his meetings. Guys coming there like this, you know what I mean? Hat turned back. Oh, okay, y'all smelling yourself, huh? So I asked Coach, I pulled a card. I called our names, even some of our leaders. And then I said, man, listen, man, respect Coach for one, but we not finished yet. And if you guys believe what I'm saying, meet me at the field at 7 p.m. and let's get ready for the big one. You know what? Everybody came. The whole team came at 7 p.m.
Word. Yeah, that just lets you know about the leadership and the respect they have for you. But also, I mean, they knew they felt and believed the same thing that you felt and believe. Like, man, you know what? Be right, man. Be all right. Like we got the potential to do something special.
Special.
And I mean, and that's what it was.
We did it that whole year. It wasn't about nobody but us. We kept saying it. It was on our board, like painted on the board. It's not about anybody else but us right now. So once you walk in the locker room, you had to humble yourself because that message, it was everywhere around the locker room. You had to read it. You can't pass it up without reading it.
Right.
It's not about anybody else. It's about us.
And I mean, and the good teams, I think that's the model for every good team, every great team that's, you know, that knows they're good and pursuing the championship or pursuing greatness. Not necessarily ever worry about your opponent.
Right.
You know, every day you trying to focus on how can we be better? You know, how can we prepare ourselves? How can we take ourselves to the next level? And you know, everything else.
And we definitely respect our opponent for sure.
Right.
Shit, they good too. They put on their pads or whatever, just like us. You know what I'm saying? Like you, they put on their sneakers just like you. So we gotta respect them, but it ain't about them though.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Man. So you take your team to the national championship game, Rose Bowl. You guys win it, 4th and 5, I believe. Not much time on the clock. What's going through your head, man? What you see and what's going through your head before this play develops?
Shit, I always play nervous, bro.
Really?
I think I play better when I'm nervous. So, you know, again, you know, we was most doubted. We was underdog. So we had nothing to lose, you know what I mean? But at the same time, again, like I said earlier, it ain't about them. It's about us. We've been through those moments and situations, not just that year, the year before. Even when we almost lost to Kansas and we wouldn't even been in the Michigan game. We was down 28-13 to Kansas. Ain't nowhere in hell we're supposed to be losing to Kansas, bro. That's a basketball school.
Right.
We're losing to Kansas, bro, 28-13, bro. Like, what the hell is going on? Our season almost went down the drain. But we figured out and we won. We came back and won. So we've been in those situations, and we was down by 12 against one of the best team in the country. You know, back-to-back champs. USC going against Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Heisman trophies, all of the above, the list goes on how much respect that they deserve. But again, it wasn't about them. We've been in those situations before. All we need to do is play the game like we've been playing all year and since last year. And we did that. When I stepped in the huddle one time, Jonathan Scott was like, "Man, don't try to do nothing special. Don't do this. Listen, just play our game." So I ain't even had to say nothing when I stepped in the huddle because Jay Scott already set the tone. Only thing I needed to do is be calm when they look in my eyes. If they see their leader not nervous, they like, let's go. But Jonathan Scott had already set the tone before I'd even stepped in the huddle. So all I know is we was down by 12, and we've been down more than that. Like I just said, 28-13. Oklahoma State, we down 28 to damn 7. We've been in this situation before.
Right.
We came back and won though. So we've been in that situation before. So Jay Scott already said it. Don't try to do nothing spectacular. Don't try to do Superman. Do what Coach prepared us to do, what we've been doing. And that's what we did. We went in and drove that ball down, got the first touchdown, and then the last one, Coach Pete Carroll called that same little blitz that he was running on my ass the whole game. Everybody did their job, and shit, that lane opened up. Selvin did his job. Selvin Young did his job and gave me a lane. And all I was like, run, Forrest, run, baby.
Bro, yo, Vince, bro, and mind you, we went to two different universities, but just being from Texas, me knowing you, bro, and I'm in California at the time, man, I'm still so pissed that I didn't make it to that game, man. Like, had this been today's era where you really could, reach out to people and connect, man, I would have definitely. But I'm like, man, I'm gonna get to this game. I just couldn't figure out how. I'm like, man, I'm right here in LA. The game was in Pasadena. I'm playing for the Clippers at the time. I'm like, bro, how can I get to this game? I didn't. That was my first year in the league, so I didn't really know how to use my, how to use my little celebrity or whatever the case may be.
I remember too. You was over there shooting that three like you always do in the corner, bro.
Letting it ride, letting it ride, letting it ride.
Every time you shoot that three from the corner, it's going in, bro. It's going in.
Letting it ride, man. You got to take your shots. You don't take your shots, you ain't got a chance to make it.
Right.
Yeah. You always miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right. Exactly.
Man. But no.
Gotta take a risk, baby.
Man, you got to, man. Because you never, like, for me, my time in the NBA was, was short. So, I had to take the shots that I could, not knowing that, I was only going to play a limited amount of years in the NBA. But man, so for you,
I remember that Ewing on the back of that jersey, bro.
But for you, bro, winning the national championship, man, how like after that, how fast this stuff just start changing for you and your family? How fast, like, did life speed up, man? Did it seem like life was speeding up after that moment?
Well, it was crazy for me because I had no idea what the hell was going on because I'm from the hood, bro. Shit, we predominantly Black and Hispanic. My mama was strung out on drugs. We was living check for check. We was poor as shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And for me to be at that moment, to lead that team at that moment, me, out of all people in the world that could be leading that team and being that quarterback at that moment, God blessed me to do it. So when it happened to me, I didn't know what was going on. I was on a whirlwind. All I thought, thank God I had Steve McNair. He was an MVP quarterback. May he rest in peace too. He was my mentor since high school. He used to come to my games in high school. They like, bro, you got Steve McNair at the game at you, bro? I'm like, yeah, that's my pops. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have a father figure in my life. So he was like a father figure for me and mentor. So to have him guide me and teach me and, be there for me, a phone call away, I mean, it was a blessing, you know what I mean? How to carry myself, how to be professional, wear a suit, put a tie on, giving me stuff that my daddy's supposed to have been doing, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that from, my coaches. But Steve really took a big role in that in my life. The stuff that he was doing already on a professional level, he was teaching me as a young age. So when the things that was happening, I can always be like, thanks, Pops, for giving me that information and knowledge, how to be a professional guy, how to be a suit, how to speak in the media and all these type of things. So when it happened, it was just a whirlwind, bro. Like that ride was crazy from winning that game to being tired to sitting in a room with Steve McNair and say, hey, what should I do? Should I go to the league? Should I go back? Oh, son, you on a pedestal right now. You should leave. You can always go back and get your degree. Boom, got that info. Bam. Well, you know the number one pick is Houston Texans, so you might got some insight that you might get picked up there. Boom. Going to Jay Leno, bro. I'm on Jay Leno, bro.
Right.
Bro, you know where we from, bro. Ain't nowhere here. We supposed to be on Jay Leno.
Right. Like one of the biggest talk show hosts ever, man. Like,
man, biggest night show ever. So I'm on Jay Leno, bro, messing around. I even freestyle. I don't know if people even remember that. I was on that freestyle on Jay Leno.
Yo, you done hit up with the man. Hold up.
Yeah, you remember that? I'm freestyling on Jay Leno, bro. And everybody, was like, what? What is he doing? What you mean? I'm being me. That's how I'm raised and born. You know what I'm saying? Then hop on a flight, a private jet to Vegas. And the first person I meet is goddamn Tiger Woods and Jeter, bro, and MJ, bro. You know what I'm saying? These are people coming up to me like, man, outstanding game, young man. Very proud of you. Even though I bet it on USC, I lost a lot of money on you. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here like listening to that shit, but I'm still starstruck. Like I'm talking to MJ.
Wow, yeah.
Derek Jeter, Tiger Woods. What the? I'm from the hood, bro. From the little small Herb Clark, you know what I'm saying? Madison Southwest neighborhood, really rich. We over there.
Right.
What we doing way in Vegas? You know what I'm saying? Mingling with rubbing, finessing with the big guys, you know what I'm saying? But they had so much respect for me, bro. And then after that, man, I made the decision. I went back and told Coach Brown that I was leaving. He supported me. And the rest was history after that.
Well, man, you talked a little bit about it just now, briefly about, the late, great, legendary Steve McNair and him being a mentor and, filling in as a father figure, friend, big bro, all these things to you, man. Like how impactful and how beneficial was that for you in your maturation as a player? And was it more beneficial for you as a player or as a young man becoming a man?
That's a good question. I think more so. I think it was pretty balanced because again, when I met Steve, I went to his football camp in Mississippi, and my uncle was a good friend of his that went to school at Alcorn and played basketball at Alcorn, but was good friends with Steve. And he took me down to his football camp, and he was like, "Man, that young man has a lot of potential, and if he needs anything, you make sure he calls me for anything." Well, when somebody say that,
Yeah, it could be smoke.
It could be smoke, but
it could be blowing smoke.
He up here, like Steve McNair, you know what I'm saying? Like almost just won the Super Bowl, MVP of the NFL, you know what I mean? Like, you know how he can get pulled in all kind of direction and people want to get in contact with him. But he was like, nah, I like this kid. And for him to do that, it meant a lot to me, for one, because I already had respect for him. And I had an opportunity because I didn't know where I was going when my uncle took me to his camp. He's like, I want to take you somewhere. So I was already a fan of him when he was playing for the Oilers here.
Right.
So I was a huge fan of him anyway. So I'm like, okay. Coach, my uncle was like, I'm going to take you to a camp, man, so you can work on your game, get yourself better, bring some of your teammates with you, and we're gonna drive down to Mississippi, and we're going to go to a camp. But he never told us the name where we was going. And then we pull up. I'm sitting in the parking lot, let's go, let's get right. Pop pull up in a Navigator. I remember to this day, a black Navigator on 24s. Beautiful Navigator with tinted windows. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know me. And the only Navigator I knew was Rashard Lewis back in the day. You remember Rashard used to have that Navigator, that clean thing they gave him when he came out of high school. I was like, okay, that might be Rashard.
What he doing out here?
Yeah, what he doing in the sit? Then that window just, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's Steve McNair. Ah. Yeah, so I got extremely excited, and I was a little nervous because I'm like, shit, I'm a buck 180, bro. Wet. Steve was about 230, bro. I'm like, damn, I got to get that big to play quarterback in the NFL. I was like, shit, I need to hurry up and eat some more peanut butter jelly sandwiches or something because I'm skinny as hell. But I was so happy to meet him, man. And then after that, the rest was history, man. He took me underneath his wing, man, in a major, major way, bro. It was like, for real, some real shit. Like, we traveled the world together. Man, I used to be his designated driver, driving the Phantom, bro, at a young age. I'm like, shit, I'm in
In high school,
high school to
you
college.
whipping the Phantom in high school, man.
The carpet is so soft, you don't even want to wear no shoes. You want your feet rubbing in that shit.
Like a pair of Federline slippers.
Exactly. Exactly. He gave me his credit card. Hey, son, take care of the bill. Like, I was learning a lot of stuff around down. That's when I met Donovan McNabb, Javon Curse, Eddie George, Keith Bulluck. I'm meeting all these guys at a young age in college. You know what I'm saying? Because I was hanging around Pop, but I was kind of like his assistant at the time.
Right.
And he would say, "No, y'all remember that young man right there? Y'all see that young man right there, Vince Young? Remember that name? That's my son right there." You know how that made me feel? An NFL quarterback saying, "That's my son." So when I leave him, that means I need to get my ass to work because he putting out the word that, you know, I got my son coming up, y'all about to see my little guy, y'all remember Vince Young, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I say Pop, okay, as soon as he take me to the airport, put him on the flight, I go back home to Texas or whatever, get ready for the season. All in my mind is Pop is walking around here telling everybody, remember Vince Young, my son. This is what he's saying. You know how much pride, you know what I'm saying, motivation,
right.
heel bumps. I got an NFL quarterback saying I'm his son, you know what I'm saying? So that pushed me even more. So for him to do that, you know, man, it was a blessing, man. I miss him so much, man. That's my dude, bro. That's my dude.
Definitely. I mean, me being from Texas, growing up also playing multiple sports, you know, being a Houston Oilers fan, you know, being a hometown team fan, Warren Moon, then you get Steve McNair, Aaron McNair. I mean, going back to Alcorn State, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I was a great fan as well of Steve McNair, man, and definitely rest in peace, man, to him. So you getting ready for the draft. A lot of things are happening for you, man. Things are going fast. You just overnight, like, top flight athlete, man. Like, everybody know who Vince Young is at this point. Talk a little bit about the draft process, man. Even though you seem like you've proved everything you need to prove, you know, to be a top pick, possibly the number one pick, but there was still some doubt. Talk a little bit about that, and we talked about it
right
early on about the stigma of being a black quarterback, you know, trying to be in the NFL.
Yeah, that was I mean, it was good to an extent, you know, being again from Houstonian, being a black quarterback, going to Indiana to the combine, you know, not taking a test seriously, put anything on the answer. I was like, I'm just gonna write anything, you know. And then I ended up getting some kind of grade that wasn't approved from everybody else, so they exposed me. Well, this guy's dumb. He got I think a 6 or 7 on his damn one-lick test, which I put down anything. I didn't give a shit about that test because it doesn't define who I am as a player. I'm like, why are we even taking the test? But again, you know, that's the business world. And then they used that against me. You know what I'm saying? Vince Young scores a 6 and 7 on the damn one-lick test. He's dumb. You know, he's this, he's that. Or he's I'm like, oh shit, here we go with this BS again. Something I had already experienced in high school that I couldn't throw, I couldn't do this. I already experienced it in college. I already experienced it, but it was on a whole nother level with the pros. You know, so they used that against me, and they was already saying I can't throw. They was already saying anything negative, so I had to deal with that BS part of it. But for me to not get distracted by that, I was enjoying family time, my family first time in New York at the draft. What they didn't know, I was like, I don't give a shit about that, but I hear you. I hear y'all. I was having so much fun with my family. I was having so much fun meeting Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush and Vernon Davis, the people that I was with at the draft. I was so much like in bed to that, not even worried about all the BS that they was talking about. I was having a snowball fight with my family. You know what I'm saying? We went to the Statue of Liberty, bro. You know, my family first time ever going to New York. We just enjoying life, bro.
Right.
So
New experiences.
I was in bed to the experience what was going on. I wasn't even worrying about all that nonsense and shit. I just knew in me, again, like I always say, I got so much confidence in me. A lot of the times I don't hear that shit or it motivates me. You know what I'm saying? It gets me fueled, be like, I got you. I hear you. You know what I mean? I hear you talking. So I was so much involved with all the other stuff, you know, experience in New York, meeting different coaches that I have seen since I was a kid. You know, I was happy about going to Tennessee because I always watched Jeff Fisher when he was at the Oilers. You know, I was so in bed to that type of stuff. I wasn't paying to a lot of the stuff. So it was a crazy experience. But also, again, um, you know, a lot of times I tell people like I don't even pay attention to that type of shit. Like a lot of people talk about my accolades and shit. I don't even pay attention to that. I was so having so much fun with my teammates, my family, and getting to know people or traveling the world. I was so in bed to that. I wasn't even thinking about the stuff that I was doing to now as I sit back and kind of relax and chilled and people be like, damn, why you know you did this, and I'm like, shit, no, I didn't even know that.
Bro, like straight up, like I don't even know if I did you enough justice. I couldn't name all this. Like for real, man. When I'm looking up, like, God, like, you've done some amazing stuff, man. Not only at the like collegiately, man. You probably one of the best collegiate players in history, right? And that's just facts. That ain't just me being biased, being from the city, knowing you. That's
Appreciate
what
it.
the stat. You know what I'm saying? That's what your accomplishments say. You know what I'm saying? So, man, definitely people might not even realize like how much of a baller that you really were and the things that you really did accomplish, man, at both levels.
Yeah, and I don't even pay attention. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I see it now because I'm doing things and people bring it up and people send me things. I'm writing a book right now. You know what I mean? I see all this stuff now, but when I was playing and doing that, I was so in bed of just because again, like I said, I'm from a family that's predominantly poor, bro. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have shit growing up. So I was so much experiencing and having fun with my family and friends, my close people. I call it my tribe. I was so in bed to that, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, shit, I'm used to balling. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right.
I didn't know what I was doing to somebody sending it to. Oh, you know, you had such and such yards. You know, you just did this. You know, you just broke this record. You know, you just did. No, I don't know none of that. I'm
You
over here
just
just having.
you
I'm
just
so
playing.
zoned. I'm just playing ball, having fun, but also enjoying it with my family and friends. You know what I'm saying? Until now, when I see it, I'll be like, okay, BY, see you, bro. Good shit. But still to this day, it hasn't hit me yet. When somebody be coming up to me like, man, you're a legend. I'm like, what? Nah, I ain't no legend. Earl Campbell is a legend.
Nah,
Rick
man.
Williams a legend. I know a bunch of legends, but
Now,
when he hit me with that, that shit be kind of because I'm
Vince
young.
Young,
I'm
Vince
still
Young,
30. We still
Vince,
young, 37. You know what I'm saying? So when people say that shit, I be like, what? Or when
Vince
one of the little homies come up like, what's up, OG? Hold up, OG. I'm not no OG.
nah.
Nah, nigga, you OG, nigga.
Yeah, bro. We getting older.
We getting older.
Vince Young you're a legend, man. Like you're definitely a legend. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are a legend. Not only in Houston, you're a legend in all the state of Texas. You're a legend at the University of Texas. Man, you're a college football Hall of Famer. Like that's not a that's not given out to, you know what I'm saying, Tom, Dick, and Harry.
But the humbleness of me though, you feel me? That's why I be trying to explain to people. I apologize. That's how I'm
Right,
raised.
right.
You don't even, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, and it's not, I think, just us being from the South, man, us being from Houston, like we don't know too many braggadocious people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not
Right,
how. That's just not our vibe. We not
right,
gonna be braggadocious and beating our chest like that. So I
right,
get
right.
it. I get it, bro. But okay, so now you're getting ready for the draft, man. You just trying to enjoy the moments, the new experiences with the family, with mom, your sisters, grandma. Uh, is the possibility you can go number one, but you kind of found out you get information that that's probably not gonna happen.
Right.
What was your feelings about initially finding out that most likely you're gonna end up in Tennessee? One being that okay, I'm about to be drafted, probably possibly biggest dream that you ever that you want to accomplish, and two, you're getting to follow in the footsteps of your pops or your mentor. How can you describe that?
Well, shit. I mean, I remember we was playing the new 2006 Madden. Me and Mario Williams, and his agent came up to him and wished me in his ear like, "Yeah, you basically going to the Houston Texans." So he got drafted the night before. Actually, he got picked up the night before. And when they told me that, that shit fucked me up. My whole night was just like, damn. So I didn't know where I was going. I knew Al Davis, may he rest in peace, the owner of the Raiders, had interest in me. And then I didn't know anything about what was going to happen after that. You know what I'm saying? So um, the night, the night I kind of slept and kind of was like slept and kind of a little pissed because I knew I wasn't going home. And then the next day draft goes, and I'm sitting in there in the room, and I hear Mario Williams. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, New Orleans Saints. Okay, is either out of me or Reggie, but they wanted a running back, so Reggie went. And then I didn't even, most time a team will call you and let you know they're about to call your name. And I didn't hear nothing from the Titans.
Wow, really? So
Yeah. All you heard was your name called when I myself. And then the crazy part about it, I think I was the first in history um, player to ever have his jersey number 10 with his name on the back in the draft. A lot of people didn't even see that. Most people get picked, it's number one, right?
yeah, the first round, yeah.
First round pick. Me, I think I was the first one in history. I think I was to have number 10 with my name on the back of my jersey when I got picked up by the Titans. And I
Wow.
walked across the stage with that number 10, took the picture with the commissioner. But I'm like, I ain't never seen it. So every time I be watching the draft, I be trying to see if anybody done that. And anybody is always number one. I think I was the only one, number 10. So I already knew I'm definitely going to the Titans. They got my number already, my name on the jersey. I'm definitely going to the Titans.
Yeah, that's why they didn't call you beforehand. They had that surprise for you, man. They knew like, all right, man, we really we really got something for him. I know it's protocol to give them a call, heads up that we gonna take them, but we gonna surprise them and we gonna do something that ain't never been done before.
Never been done before. So, and then after that, man, I kissed my mom and did all the interviews, and they had a private plane, and we flew straight to Nashville that night. Me and my mom and my sisters and my wife, and it was showtime. It was now the negotiation part of it, and then doing a lot of media and all that type of stuff. But now I'm officially a Titan. Bud Adams got me. And it's showtime now. But it was a dream come true. And you know what I'm saying? Like you work hard for that. You know what I'm saying? In basketball, NBA, you know what I mean? You work hard for that since a kid, playing Tecmo Bowl, playing Madden, playing NBA Jam.
What's it?
You know what I'm
Tecmo
saying?
Bowl.
Like, yeah, you playing all this stuff on the Genesis and PlayStation and Xbox, and then you really live that life, and then you don't get to that moment that all you worked hard for. Now you just take a deep breath, but you ain't done yet. That's the first chapter right there. So now that's really turn up. So in my mind was, you know, uh, after we get this negotiation done, let's go get this starting job. Let's go get this job.
So man, you get drafted, man, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier that initially you wasn't the starter in Tennessee. Here you are, the third pick in the draft. High expectations, but you had a veteran guy in front of you, season. A hell of a career himself. Uh, just talk about a little bit those first couple of years, man, and the success you had, and kind of how stuff kind of, kind of how stuff kind of got off track.
Yeah, it was tough, man. You know, man, I'm young, so I think I'm 23, bro. So when I came in, we had Billy Volek. So he was starting the preseason game, and then they ended up trading him to San Diego or whatever, and then bringing in Kerry Collins, a veteran quarterback that everybody knows. Kerry, he got some history too. Penn State quarterback. So he came in and he was a starter. So I kind of took the back seat and kind of waited on my time, but I was studying and doing what I got to do, following him around, kind of learning. It was tough because, you know, I'm thinking that I was going to be with Steve, you know what I'm saying? But they ended up releasing him and sending him to Baltimore. Even did him dirty, though. Didn't even talk to him on the phone. He pulled up to the gate and, you know, you press the button to get in. They don't let him in. They
Wow.
Steve McNair, you can't come over here. You've been released. You're not a part of the Titan organization no more. Steve, like, what? They have a middleman. You know what I'm saying? Tell him that. And you got this history with Coach Fisher. You almost took these guys to almost win a Super Bowl. You deserve the head coach or GM or owner to tell you that. They sent a middleman out to tell him he's been released and he's not a part of the Titan organization. So that was effed up, period. So, and I'm thinking that I'm about to go be underneath Steve McNair and have him as a mentor. So all that situation didn't happen. So now I got Kerry Collins, which he's a good quarterback, Carolina Panther. He got a lot of history, Giants. He got a lot of history as well. So I'm learning from Kerry. And then, you know, we 0-6, 0-5. And then Coach Fisher's like, man, you the starter. You know, that's why I was talking about the Hummer. The Hummer. He gave me the keys to the thing, and we ended up going, I think 8-8. I ended up winning the rest of the games the whole season, and we was a game short. And it was just different, bro. It was tough because I was a young guy trying to lead veterans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Guys that's been in the league for 12.
Trying to lead men who got max contracts. Yeah, it's
grown ass men, bro. So I was definitely nervous as hell. But after my first game, you know me, I respect you, but I don't give a shit, nigga. Let me know what's up, bro. I'll fight your big ass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it wasn't about them. It was about me doing my job. You know what I mean? Being a leader, being a quarterback, doing preparation, showing them guys that I'm supposed to be your starting quarterback. That was my mindset of making sure they love me for who I am, or not just him as a quarterback, and then around the locker room, off the field stuff, being around, taking my guys out like I did at Texas, taking my O-line out to dinner. My O-line got a dinner on Thursdays in Texas. We had O-line dinners on Fridays. Guess where I was at? I was there with my O-line, letting them know I appreciate you blocking. I pay for dinner, blah, blah, blah. We could, but also getting to know everybody. Right. They getting to know me. I'm getting to know them. So I was doing all that underneath the radar that people don't even talk about. Or somebody need a car. I had an extra car. Yeah, you can drive mine. Boom. You can borrow mine. You tell you whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? I wanted people to know who I was as a person. That's what I do with my teammates. That's why I feel like I had a type of relationship with my teammates, because it wasn't just about the football shit. I was actually building a relationship with them off the field too. You know what I mean? Getting to know them. Going to their foundation events in this season. Bro, I was in Wyoming, bro. What the fuck I'm doing in Wyoming, bro?
What is going on in Wyoming? Who was living in Wyoming all season?
They got some beautiful golf courses though, but one of my teammates had a foundation event out there, you know what I'm saying, for his community, and I went and supported him. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing all that type of stuff underneath the radar, you know what I mean? Building a relationship with my teammates to let them know it's just not about, just football with me. I really care about you as a brother, you know what I mean? Like, we play together, I got to get to know you, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I was all over the place in all season. You know what I mean? They was like, man, we'll pay for your flight. Nah, man, you don't need to pay for that, bro. I'm just coming just to kick it with you, bro. So I was doing a lot of that. So that type of stuff, man, what I miss and what I love about football, bro. You get to know people, and a lot of people don't tell you that about me, which is effed up. And I had to go through that situation, man. That I had a head coach just didn't like me. Period. He wanted Matt Leinart. You know what I'm saying? But Bud Adams was like, no, I want Vince Young. So I was already thrown in the fire
So man,
about controversy that they was having. You feel what I'm saying?
right. I mean, yeah, like you said, you was thrown in the fire. That had nothing to do with you. Like
Had nothing to do with me.
You was showing up to play because that's who picked you. I'm glad you brought that up, man. I mean, and it's been stories out there about that relationship and how how that ended. So that's the story. Jeff Fisher initially wanted Bud Adams to draft Matt Leinart.
That's one of the topics, yeah. That's one of the topics. Yeah.
Okay, so
he's just one of those guys. That's he's not a player's coach. He's all about him. So a lot of people don't know Coach Fisher was the head coach and assistant GM. That's too many hats already.
Yeah, that never works in no sport.
In any sport.
it never worked in no sport because both of those positions they contradict each other.
Exactly.
So it doesn't work in basketball, and it doesn't work in football. Like you can't be the head coach and assistant GM or the GM. It's never going to work.
No,
never going to work. But anyway, so Vince, man, you had these. Once again, you go through the whole stereotypes and stigmas of what black quarterbacks have to go through, but you have great success, man, in Tennessee, right? You become offensive rookie player of the year. You a two-time Pro Bowler. Man, like how validating or was it validating, man, for you to be a Pro Bowler? Like, did that kind of like, was you like, yeah, like you was able to silence the haters when you received your first Pro Bowl?
No, I don't really focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I knew who I am. I know who I am. You know what I mean? You know how you are. You just know who you are. I was more so worried about why is the negativity though. You feel me? From my head coach, from the media. I was trying to figure that shit out more than because I knew what I can do. Like sports was my out, was my release to get away from all the BS that was going on in the world, in my personal world.
Right.
So I already knew I can play the game. I just wanted people to respect that I could play the game. But being an African American quarterback, before I even came into the league, I was already doubted. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to deal with that nonsense every week, every day, let alone I had to deal with a head coach that didn't like that I was successful. And you'll think that your coach will be happy that you're successful. No, he told it was the opposite. And that was different for me because I never experienced, I mean, people use the word racism, but I don't use racism. I use hatred. You know what I'm saying? So I was dealing with hatred from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? And I never experienced that because I had a Caucasian white coach with Coach Brown, but he never did me like that. You know what I'm saying? He was always in communication with me. He respected me first. Even though I told you when he stepped into my house, he showed a different kind of respect. When I got to Nashville, it was totally different, bro. And all I want to do is win a Super Bowl for the state of Tennessee. I signed my name on that line. You got all of you out. That's all I was about. But the BS that I was dealing with, it was different, bro. It was very different, and I never experienced it, so I didn't know how to respond to it. And Steve's always say, man, just go in there with a smile on your face, kill him with a smile, kill him with kindness, kill him with a smile. And it just kept getting worse and worse because I was actually playing good, and I was coming in there with a smile on my face, even though I'll be like, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? I know what you just wrote about me in the goddamn, papers that day, but I went in there with what Pop said, and that's what Pop had to do. So it was tough for not just me, but a lot of guys before me, Steve, because Steve actually teaching me what he went through. And then the guy before him went through. So they was more so like, I already know I'm a ball out and I'm going to go out and play my ass off. I'm going to get the last laugh anyway. But in the same time, internally, we was dealing with some shit. You feel what I'm saying? We was dealing with the hatred part of it. that they ain't like that we were successful quarterbacks. We can read, we can study the game, we can go out there and throw for this, just like the other white quarterback can, and win the game and lead the league in records. I was like the number one top rated quarterback in the league over Tom Brady, over Brett Favre, over Peyton Manning. They don't even talk about that shit, bro. I was leading the lead and stuff that they ain't talk about.
Right.
So it was the hatred part of it.
They was just gonna harp on the things that they felt that you didn't do well.
Exactly. And it was just BS. So every day I had to wake up in the morning, bro. I had to go to deep prayer, bro, before I even walk in the locker room in the facility, bro, because I know I didn't want to look at this guy because he was the devil, bro.
Man, right? it was that tough. It was that tough, man.
Bro, you know the quarterback is supposed to be the first person there, bro, and I'm the first person there sitting in the parking lot. I didn't even want to go in until I was finished with my prayer, bro.
Man, yeah, that's got to be tough. I mean, that's some of the stuff, man, that I like people to kind of highlight and give the audience insight about is that, like, it ain't all peaches and cream, man. People think that, you know, you become this professional athlete, you get to this status, you making this type of money, and that's gonna make everything all right. Like, I tell people all the time, man, like, it's the saying is really true: more money, more problems. And we still are human, and we still dealing with everyday life situations, and stuff is not going right in our life, just like stuff is not going right. And, you know, in the average person life who doesn't have this status or have, you know, a certain type of money, it doesn't make a difference. We're still human, and we still have to deal with it.
Bro, I went through a situation that everybody thought I was on suicide watch, right? I don't know if you remember that.
Man, yeah.
So I basically left my house because I was tired of people coming to my house, right? You know how it is. People care about you. They checking on you and blah, blah, blah. And I appreciate that. But I'm one of those guys like, no, I just need peace. I need my moment. So I left. And then my mom and everybody saw me with my gun. In that moment, I can understand where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? But me, I got a license to carry. I'm a fucking high priority celebrity. So I stay strapped, bro. To this day, I stay strapped. I stay ready just in case. You dig what I'm saying? But in their face, they was like, okay, Vince going through the situation, blah, blah, blah. But I left and went and ate some chicken wings and was watching Monday Night Football. So I guess something got to Coach Fisher that you might want to call Vince and see if he okay or whatever. So Coach calls me, right? Coach like, Vince, you good? You okay? I'm like, yeah, man. I'm chilling, watching Monday night game, watching when Aaron Rodgers took over Green Bay, when Brett Favre went to the Vikings. I'm watching that Monday night game. So it was the new era for Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers took over. They playing against Tavar Jackson, may he rest in peace. And Brett Favre is playing for the Vikings. So it's like a big hoopla about the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching that, eating wings. Coach Fisher calls me, Vince, you okay? Your family is concerned. They think you in suicidal and all this. I'm like, nah, Coach, I'm good. I'm just over here chilling. I just got away. I didn't feel like, you know, dealing with all the people coming over concerned and blah, 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 blah. But I'm over here chilling. He's like, okay, well, can you come to the facility so I can see your face and make sure you're okay? I'm like, all right, I'll come through, Coach, to show you that I'm good. Bro, I get there, bro. It's 8 police officers, bro. A negotiator, bro. Cameras, bro. So in my mind, Coach set this shit up. How do they know I'm even coming to the facility?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It had to be somebody call him and say, blah, 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 right? And Coach Fisher could have closed this shit down and could have said, no, he's okay. When I get there, they blocked me in at the facility. 2 cars blocked me in, tell me to get out the car, let alone I'm in a boot, nigga. Tell me to get out the car. A negotiator talking to me like I'm special. Vince, are you okay? Do you want to harm yourself? I'm looking like, is this really happening right now? And I'm looking at Coach Fisher like, what are you doing? Help me out, Coach. Like, you can shut all this down. I just told you I'm okay. Man, I had a psychiatrist there, bro. Cameras watching me. Went on TV the next day.
So he never stepped in and was like,
nope.
He never stepped in and was like, man, no, like, you know,
no.
I got to talk to Vince. I saw him. He, you know, he's doing well. He's okay. He's in right. He never did any of that.
He sat there and sat on the back of the truck, bro, and watched the shit happen to me.
Wow.
You know how the back of the truck let the latch down? He's sitting there with the latch down on the back of the truck watching the shit happen to me, bro.
So, I mean, but you said it earlier, just describing you guys, the interaction, you guys' relationship. You said there was some hatred there, man. So, I mean, based on what you're explaining here now, like that sounds like that sounds like describing what your experience that you had, the relationship that you had with him, that he really did dislike you for whatever reason. Like he really, and I'm gonna just use the word dislike, but he really just disliked you for whatever reason it may have been, that he would allow that. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that this is a serious issue. Like this is a serious, this is not even about, this is about somebody's well-being in life. So this ain't about football at this point. And for you to allow somebody to have to go through that, and like you said, you was a big time public figure, man. Like that's all over the news. I remember it. I remember like coming out and like just like, man, what's going on? And you know.
Now just imagine you walking in my shoes. You at a grocery store, you at the airport, people looking at you like, damn, that nigga wanted to kill himself. He was on suicide watch. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine going through all that. And it was a total lie.
Right.
Like you got people really looking at you while you walking around in the world, bro. You know what I'm saying? What people don't think about, you gonna tell this lie and tell the whole world I was on suicide watch. That's mentally tough than what the shit I went through with that situation. It's the outcome what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's the bullshit of everything. What they don't understand. That even though you guys said that and the media said Vince Young was on suicide, I had to go through that shit. I had to walk around on earth.
Right.
And people looking at me like, damn, that nigga wanted to kill himself. Damn, that nigga was on suicide watch. I had to deal with that. Or people calling me and saying, Ben, you okay, man? Or you want to kill yourself, bro? Or fans walking up to me saying, I had to deal with that shit. And that's the fucked up part about all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, you gonna say something about me. I'm gonna own up to my truth. Yeah, if I was to do some shit. But no, that wasn't if me and you go rob a bank and I get caught, I'm gonna say that I went and robbed the bank. I ain't gonna say, D, you and robbed the bank with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm gonna own up to my shit. You know what I mean? But this situation right here, it ain't even true. So what I need to own up to? I'm dealing with some shit that I was cornered in. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, that's tough, man. I mean, and that's just a part of what some of the people don't understand about being a public figure, being an athlete in the spotlight, having to deal with the media and the, you know, the rumors that get thrown out there, the stories that get spent, and the media try to say, well, I'm just trying to get my story, or I'm doing my job, but at the same time, the people that you're covering, the teams that you're covering, you know, the news that you're putting out, I mean, you have to be careful about the things that you say, because like I said, athletes are human, man. Like we're human beings. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have families, you know, we have other people that are affected by these situations as well. So, man, I mean, like I said, I understand it, man. I get it, man. Like people don't understand. Like they think that athletes are you know, they're bulletproof and they're invincible too.
You know what they say?
To the tragedies of life.
They say because you make a lot of money, you're supposed to handle that shit.
Nah. Nah, man.
Come on, man. Can't nobody handle that shit. Thank God, you know, God made me a strong-minded person because of my history in the past, that the stuff that I went through made me a tough-minded person. Like my brother, Selma Young, to this day, he like, bro, you strong as hell, bro. You know, the stuff that you have went through, bro, for you to come out of that stuff, you strong. But I tell people it took like all the stuff that my childhood and all the stuff that I went through, it made me mentally tough to deal with that shit. So I'm like, damn. But when it does happen though, that shit be killing me though. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I'd be like, damn, he go another BS. Like when I got a DWI, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's my fault. But all the hateful things that people are saying, that's not who I am as a person. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, you this and that and this. Nah, man, that's no, man.
But I mean, that's the downside of being a professional athlete or being a high profile public figure. We don't get, not we, because I'm not a high profile like you are, but the athletes and famous athletes don't get the opportunity to have mishaps and trials, and you know what I'm saying, and the mistakes they had. They don't get to correct them in private. It becomes
because you make a lot of money.
It becomes public, and then everybody has their own opinion and misinformed. But they don't have all the information, and everybody gets to criticize and nitpick at how they want to view it. So it makes it harder for the person to it's to deal with, especially if it's something serious. It makes it harder for the person to deal with it. Mm-hmm. But man, before we wrap up, man.
But I'm tough-minded though, so we got to keep it pushing on their ass though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and that's like you said, that's just God knew what some of the things that you was gonna have to go through. He knew he was gonna have to to build you up to endure a lot of these things, and that's why he's blessed you with the things that he's blessed you with, because he knew you would be able to handle it, man. Right. So things in Tennessee come to an end. You move on to Philly, bro. You move to Philly. You playing with Mike Vick in his prime. Y'all had this. I mean, y'all got a squad. On paper, y'all got probably one of the squads to beat on paper, on offense and defense. I mean, y'all got a squad on both sides.
Right.
What was the big? And I get it. Like I said, I get it. On paper, I get the reference you was making. Talk a little bit about the whole dream team, reference, bro.
Another situation, another BS ass situation. They knew exactly what I was talking about, but they took it to a whole nother extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And me, I told my team, I even stood up in front of the team and the team meeting. I'm like, Coach Reed, can I say something? I say, man, I just want to tell y'all, I apologize for the dream team, situation. I didn't mean it how they saying it. I just respect each and last one of you guys up in here. Each and last one of y'all have a brand, as a name. Y'all are good. Y'all are talented. Even what I head coach. So it to me is a dream come true as a head coach, for one, that you got Mike Vick, myself, you got Colt McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, you got, I mean, the list goes on. The people who had the team, you know what I'm saying? It was like a dream team to me, but we didn't, pay off like we wanted to, because towards the end of the season, you can tell we were starting to, our chemistry was coming down. But what I meant by that, and what they took it at, that's the media, bro. Just ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And, I put myself out there and I admitted it. And I ain't had to admit it to the media, but I told my teammates, I apologize for the extra media right now. I stood up and owned that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I stood up like, can I say something, Andy? Coach, Andy, I apologize. Teammates, I really do apologize for the comment I meant. I didn't mean that shit they talking about, but I just feel like we have a dream team with all this damn talent we got in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I meant by it. They took it a whole nother route. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Of course they did. It was and the fact, but they was only able to do that because you guys didn't live up to the expectations of the talent that you had. Now,
but they did that before the season started. So that was camp when I said that.
Right.
So they messed with us for the whole year. So, we wasn't winning. They messed with me the whole year, but they started that shit, the BS, in camp.
But okay, so did your all right? This is the real question. Did your teammates, when you said it initially, did anybody have a problem with it, issue with it, or they was like, bro, we do have a team, we nice, like.
No, I don't know. I mean, they wouldn't tell me. Ain't nobody fucking with VY, bro. Ain't nobody. If they did, they didn't say shit to me. And Mike Vick didn't say nothing to me, because that was my guy. He was the leader of the team. You know what I mean? So again, I did apologize to the team, but if somebody had something to say, they ain't say shit. If they did, I would have sat there and listened and respected my teammates, period. But again, ain't nobody fucking with VY, dog. Ain't nobody fucking with VYD. Bro, I'm about that life, D.
You from the Clark, bro. I know.
Yeah, I'm about that life.
Talk a little bit about that, man, before I let you go. Just about you had this part of your career, you moved on from your franchise team. Now you with the Eagles, man, getting to play with Mike Vick. How was that, man? How was you said that was your guy. Just talk a bit about just watching him in practice, watching him every Sunday, man. Like how special we know he was special, but up close and personal, man. How special was Vick?
Man, Mike Vick was very professional, man. All the shit he went through with the dog BS, going to jail, just listen to the stories that he told me that I don't want to say, but you know, he's a special dude. I got so much respect for Mike. You know, that's my brother. My wife and his wife are cool. Me and him cool. You know, I got a lot of respect for him. You know, for him to go through that situation, being who Mike Vick is, legendary, will be in the Hall of Fame one year when the number is called. I mean, he was just down to earth, man. You know, it's quarterbacks, white or black. One thing about I can say about quarterbacks, we all get along, man. We all support each other. We all get along, and then to 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 be in the same room with him, for him to greet me at the airport, show me where I need to stay at, I mean, for him to do all that, it's the type of person he is, for one. But the conversations and him talking about his jail time, you know what I'm saying? You know, all his history, bro, it was just unbelievable how the bond we made, you know, as some of the top quarterbacks in the league, especially as a black, because everybody watching us, you know what I'm saying? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
younger guys are watching us. So to have opportunity to kind of hang out with him and get to know him and not just the athlete person, but the human being, Mike Vick. That man went through some stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? And for him to still be humble and keep moving forward, still pushing to this day, still doing some great things in life. Um, I thought that was another dream come true because you know Steve was my guy, and then I always looked up to Mike growing up. I always watched his highlights at Virginia Tech. You know, I just watched his story on 30 for 30, man. Just to hear all that history, that stuff he told me when we was hanging out in our condo. When I was driving around, I picked him up in one of them dualies. I picked him up in a 450 dually. He like, damn, that's how y'all boys drive in Texas. I'm like, yeah, bro, we got them dualies out there.
You got a
Yeah,
dually,
wow.
you had a dually out in Philly, bro.
I had a big duty out there. Me and him going to camp together. I picking him up. We was roommates. Uh, I mean, we had so much history, bro. We was like together hanging out, and then um, for him to take me underneath his wing, uh, a childhood hero to me that I looked up to, wanted to be just like or even better. For him to be who he is, you know, I thought that was awesome, dog. And you know, everything didn't work out. You know, even Andy Reid was like, "Man, I don't think you should be a second string quarterback. I think you need to go be a starter. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you on a team." So I went to Buffalo, went out there and kicked ass and deal with some racial shit out there, some hatred out there. Ended up getting cut the last day in camp. Actually did good in camp, even in the games, and ended up still getting cut. And went through that BS and then went to Green Bay, did good there, beat out the other quarterback. They released him. Then they ended up releasing me on the last day. And I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. Then ended up going to Cleveland. And that situation was BS because I went in communication with the GM and the owner and the head coach. And uh, my boy Kyle Shanahan is the head coach for the 49ers. He was offensive coordinator at the time in Cleveland. And, you know, they picked Johnny Manziel. So I'm thinking the same situation like Steve McNair and me. I'm thinking, okay, they bringing in Johnny. I get to mentor him, teach him some stuff. They end up cutting me. And Kyle calling me on the phone, like, bro, why you not in meetings? Where you at? Where you at? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? They just cut me. You know, I was cut.
Wow.
He was like, what? He was like, yeah, they cut me, bro. He was like, what? What the hell is going on? I'm like, bro, they cut me, bro. I'm gone. He didn't
Wow.
even know because he was calling me like, why I'm not in meeting.
So the OC had no idea you had been cut, bro.
The OC didn't even know I was cut. And before we got there, they asked me, what do you want, Vince? I said, can we just keep the communication line open between us? Anything y'all need, if I need to fix anything, I will fix it. This because I never had that communication line. I just remembered it from Jeff Fisher. The communication line was bad.
Right.
But I had a really good communication with Andy Reid, but the communication was bad in Buffalo. The communication was bad in Green Bay. So I wanted to make sure when I got to Cleveland, I said, man, you know, I just want to make sure the communication line is open. So they draft Johnny that weekend, and Kyle Shanahan calls me like, bro, why you not in meetings? Because, you know, I know Kyle. We went to Texas together. You know, he played wide receiver at Texas, so we had that type of respect and bond. But we kept the professionalism. You know what I mean? But you know, when we chilling, it's personal shit. But when you get in that facility, I'm like, that's my coach, that's my offensive coordinator. Respect.
Right.
Man, they call me like, V, man, where you at, bro? Dang, you gonna just miss meeting like that? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? You didn't know they cut me, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, and that too, man.
It wasn't the head coach too. Again, the same shit Coach Steve did. It wasn't the head coach. It wasn't the GM that I was talking to. It was a middleman.
Right.
Again.
That's the insight that people don't understand either about being a professional athlete, man. It's not all professional, right? Right? They want the athlete to be the utmost, to show the utmost respect and, and be professional and represent the franchise as well. But then on the flip end, when it's on the teams be the one that be the most unprofessional half the time when situations like this occur.
And this is
the athlete get all the flack.
And this is what I'm saying right now. Like, we have to speak up as players. Like, we stay quiet because we don't want to jeopardize our next job. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody go this, even not just sports world. Other professionals in the world go through the same shit. But right now, it's like I was saying about Cam, why would you go on TV and say, this ain't about the money, this is respect? No, you deserve that money because you earned that money. This ain't about you already earned the respect. That's what we all are saying. That's what Black people, that's what some people out there that's vouching for you. That's what people on some of these sports channels are saying. You already earned that respect. So why you should be like, this is not about the money. This is about respect. So the mentality is they done made us be like that mentally, right? But he should be saying, come on, man. I already earned that. And some. I want to play the game. I love the game. But I do deserve the same pay as these people that's making more money than me too, though.
Right.
But the mentality is they got in our mind that we should say what he said. So I don't agree with Cam saying, no, you supposed to earn that, bro. You MVP. You went to the Super Bowl. You led the league multiple times doing this winning game. You earned that already. Why in the hell should you go to the back of the seat and this guy over here he's not taking the back of the seat? You feel what I'm saying? That's the BS I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. For Cam's situation is definitely crazy. For the simple fact that he only had basically one offer, and that offer is for the amount that it is. It doesn't make sense for the simple fact that the reports are coming out that that he's been healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see if it was like, okay, we still don't know about his health, but they said he was healthy. Before the off season even came, like his own team, like, and you can contest, his own team did him dirty.
Shit, unhealthy goddamn Cam Newton. I'm still picking him up some of the shit I see out there,
man. But so your last few years in the league wasn't as you would hope for, but you had a hell of a run. You've made a great transition, bro. You've been through a lot. Vince Young has been through a lot. You've accomplished a lot. But like I keep reiterating, you're human. So you've made some mistakes. You've owned up to it. You know what I'm saying? But you're transitioning now. You're retired. Talk briefly about the things that you have going that you have going on now. I know you most recently you're in the real estate business. You got the partnership with the Crunch Fitness. What else you got going on, man? You got some great stuff going on, man. Just kind of share.
I just got a really good team of people, man, that respect me as a person and they know my value, what I bring to the table. So my investments and my portfolio is pretty blessed, bro. You know what I mean? One thing nobody can take from me is who I am as a person. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't nobody take that from you, D-Ewing. Can't nobody take that from me. Everybody know exactly that we just humble young men and we respectful and we earn everything that God has blessed us with. So I have opportunity to be around some really good people in the business world, you know what I mean? And I transitioned myself. It wasn't easy, but, thank God I went to a really good university and I kept a relationship with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And to find my niche and my direction. It took a little time, but at the same time, once I found it, and then also got around some good people that just believe in me and believe who I am as a person, we made it all come together. You know what I mean? Like the fitness gym, you know, what I love about them is like we keeping it cheap. But we also want people to understand about health. You know what I'm saying? We building our gyms in areas that don't have gyms that really need it. How in the hell is a gym way over here in these areas, but it's not one in the community that actually really needs it? So when I met them and they told me they pitched, like, no, man, we really want to go into areas that people are not really paying attention to their health. I'm like, man, that's what I've been saying all my life. You
Right.
know, what the restaurant business, you know, a lot of people say I couldn't. I can't. All my life, that's all I heard. Man, we about to be 10 years, bro.
Man, congrats, man.
So the real estate company, listening to people, you know, what I hate about it, I'm listening to people that this is their first home, right? They didn't save all this money, and these assholes out here taking advantage of them on their first home. So I met a partner that gets it. Like, that's just BS. Let's build a company that when somebody come get their new home, we not taking advantage of them. We want they money uh, uh, that they can spend for their home and not be fucked over. You feel what I'm saying? Let's make sure that they getting the bang for their buck. Especially this is they retire home. This is what they save money for. This is what they want. So I'm like, shit, man, you a good partner for me because I'm all about the community. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
About making sure our community good because it ain't about the money. We're gonna make that. That's easy. But for somebody to feel good and be happy about what they purchased or what they got, that's what it's all about. So anything that I do, I'm so blessed that I had opportunity to meet some people that's on the same page as me, and I'm on the same page as them. So now all you gotta do is bring it all together. So I'm actually pretty blessed, even though I still miss the game. I still train quarterbacks individually, private workouts and stuff like that. I'm always gonna be around the game, but I just want to get away from the media. You feel what I'm saying? That shit is crazy, bro. I'm done with the media, bro.
Yeah, you're not a fan favorite
I'm
in the
done with that
media, bro.
shit.
Nah, but man,
Hell no.
man, I
I mean,
appreciate
I'm a fan of people like yourself, you know, people that's doing the right shit. But them ones that's not there, like what Denzel said, like you're not doing your job no more if you just want to be the first guy to report it. You feel what I'm
right. You gotta get the information
saying?
right, man.
Yeah, get the information right and then do about, you know, the right stuff. And you never know, you might get a celebrity, you might get somebody that want to talk to you when you do it the right way. But when you're doing that BS stuff, just want to be the first to report it. Now um, you're not going by the amendment. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing what how it's supposed to be. You feel
Right,
me?
right. Well, VY, man, I appreciate it, bro. I really do appreciate you taking the time, man, chopping it up with me, sharing your story, your journey, man, giving some insight on your situations and what really happened. Man, I think the people gonna really appreciate, man, just really hearing your side of things, man, and uh, uh, getting to know Vince Young on a more personal level. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people probably know Vince Young, the athlete, you know,
Yeah,
the national champion, you know.
definitely.
Yeah, you know, so just letting
Definitely.
them get to know you, man, and who you are. I really appreciate you taking time and blessing the podcast, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. You know it's all love for you, bro. And please help the family for me, bro. And I'm a phone call away, bro. I just want people in the world, man, to understand that we all go through the BS, but just keep it peaceful, stay safe, and just take care of your family, man. You know what I mean? And when you go through the BS, it's always another day, and another day, and another day, and another day.
Right.
Keep pushing.
Live to fight another day. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, man, appreciate it, man. Stay safe, man, and take care.
All right, bro. Love you, champ. Catch up with you
You
soon.
too, man. Love you, bro.
All right, bro.